Well, everybody, welcome to the podcast. I like to do these podcasts every now and then to break from the norm. Of course, I talk about divorce, recovery after that event, heartbreak, get over your ex. But every now and then, I like to take a time out and invite some buddies. And of course, Cody's been here plenty of times. You don't have to.
None of them were available, so now we're here.
Right? Yeah. Cody doesn't have to introduce himself. He's been here like 5 fucking times and all that. But I like to have my buddies over. We talk about random shit and just, a little bit of movies because these guys are experts in the movie genre. And well, you're better than me. You're better. So you're experts in my opinion. So Adam, we met recently. For those who don't know, we met. I think this last 31 on 31. I didn't know you before. I only knew you from a Godzilla review, and then we just hit it off like we never knew each other. So tell the people about you, Mr. Adam.
I did a Godzilla review. Everybody loved it. That's pretty much all there is to know about my background. No, I mean, how long do you want me to go with this, Rudy? I've been
as long
doing
as you
movie
want.
Okay, well, I'll keep it quick because we have better things to talk about than me. But I'm a father of 2, husband of 1. No throuple situation going on over here. I'm a movie critic, and I'm also a front-end web designer and developer. I've been doing that longer than the movie critic stuff, but now they're basically both full-time jobs. And I met these 2 knuckleheads. I guess, Cody, I've known you for a few years, and then I was introduced to Rudy through Cody in his 31 on 31. So it's been great, kind of like expanding my friend group and getting more into the movie space as years go by.
Yeah, it's very far and few between for me to meet somebody and it's instantaneous, like you hit it off. It's like you and I gelled like we were lovers in a past life.
Like
or something
peanut
like
butter
that.
and jelly, baby. Peanut butter and jelly.
But peanut butter and guacamole or something like that. I don't know. You just went blurry, Adam. Are you good?
My video just went blurry. You know what? I should plug this in. I've learned after doing like 4 years of live streams that maybe plugging things in helps. So
that would probably help
while you chat.
All right, cool. And Cody, of course, I was kidding. You can introduce yourself. I mean, everybody knows. I mean, you say Cody Leach in the movie space. Oh, I know that guy. You're like Roger Ebert now. So,
oh God.
But please tell the folks who you are for those who don't know who Cody Leach is.
I'm some jackass that didn't want to work for somebody else anymore, so I just worked really hard to hone my craft of bullshitting until enough people really cared what I had to say about movies. No, I'm kidding. Just lifelong movie lover. Started doing this on YouTube. It's just kind of a hobby. It took off. Apparently, I was pretty good at it. So now I do this full time. Talk about all genres, all that good stuff. And unlike Adam, I'm a back end web designer. So I have the more fun job.
Nice. I actually did not know that. Or are you just kidding? Oh,
he said he's a front end, and I said I'm a back end.
I thought you were like a sexual gay metaphor or something like that. Cody likes it from the back end. Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
I know what like a back end developer is. I don't know what a back end designer even is. So this is like a new thing for me to learn. What the hell is this?
Yeah. So I've known these guys for a long time. They're like part of the inner circle. Of course, there's Charles as well. There's plenty of other people that I've grown to love and call friends. So I wanted to invite them over just to bullshit and just talk about whatever. And I'll go start with Silent Hill. For those who don't know, I'm a huge Silent Hill fan. Knock it off, goddammit. I'm a huge Silent Hill fan.
Of the movies, not the games?
Well, I love the first movie in 2006. I think that's one of the best. I know it's not a great movie, but I think it's one of the best video game adaptations when you consider everything the game's talking about with the metaphors and not the metaphors, the mythology is what I meant to say. And just the lore and everything. To do that in a 2.5-hour movie, I think it's great. So I think that's one of the best video games to movie adaptations, right? The Revelation sucked, but this one, I went in not expecting a faithful adaptation. I wanted to see what they had done, and they took some creative liberties. I know the majority of everybody fucking hated it, but I just looked at it for the story that it was, and I thought it was okay. It's not a great movie. It's not what I wanted, but I appreciate what they had done, and it was a nice 2 hours of escapism for me to go in there. And this really hasn't been a lot of movies that have given me that. I mean, 28 years later, The Bone Temple was a fucking amazing experience. And this one to me was just like a deep experience. So what did you guys think about Silent Hill?
Well, I mean, like you, Rudy, I'm a fan of the games. I think you're a bigger Silent Hill fan than I am. I'm much more of a Resident Evil guy, but I do have love for the first game, especially. That was my first survival horror experience. So where a lot of people had that before. Yeah, I actually never played any of the Resident Evil games on PlayStation. Somehow I missed that.
Okay.
I kick myself in the ass every day for that. But yeah, I played Silent Hill, so where a lot of people.
It's one of Cody's biggest regrets in life is not playing the original Resident Evil on PlayStation.
Yes,
He's had a good life.
At least top 13. But you have the original Silent Hill was like my first survival horror game, so I loved that one. Somehow I missed the second one. It came out whenever PS2 came out, and I remember that I wanted Metal Gear and Grand Theft Auto, and then I was still a kid at the time, so it was like whatever game I could get my parents to buy me. So somehow I missed Silent Hill 2. Eventually did go and play it in 2020 whenever we were all kind of like locked in. I played it on like PlayStation Now or something like that, and of course it had aged poorly, but I was like, oh, I'll get the gist of it. Cool. And then you and I played the shit out of the remake last year. And I like you. I like the original Silent Hill movie. I think the fact that I would agree with you and say it's one of the better video game adaptations says more about how shitty most of them are than how great that movie is. But I do like it, and so I was optimistic that guy was coming back to do
Christoph
an
Gans?
adaptation of the second one, because I was like, okay, well, I mean, you've got 20 years of lessons to learn. It should be better, if nothing else, in the first film. And I fucking hated the movie. I mean, I mean, as much as you can hate a movie, but like, I just, to me, I try to look at it. Is it a successful movie in and of itself? To me, it was convoluted. It was edited poorly. It was paced poorly. Like, they keep editing in all these flashback sequences that are not necessary, and it breaks the flow of the movie. Everything feels shortchanged, all the side characters.
Oh, yeah.
And even if you just want to focus in and say, okay, well, this is just about James's storyline, everybody else is just whatever, they fuck that up because they change the motivation and they take away the bite out of the ending. And when you actually look at it as an adaptation of the game, you like it even worse. And I'll tell you the reason why it frustrated me so much, and why I've really got to the point where I'm just getting so tired of these like video game adaptations being this piss poor, is because there's so many people out there who never had the chance to play Silent Hill 2 back in the day, or don't play video games, and now this is their one experience with that story. And I actually don't really watch his reviews too much anymore, but I clicked, I was letting it play on YouTube like a playlist, and Jeremy John's review came up. And he proved exactly what I was saying. He gets to the end of it. He's like, well, I was looking forward to playing Silent Hill 2, but now that I've seen this version, I guess I'll just Wikipedia what the story is.
No.
Oh, yeah, he's married in the game. Oh, and yeah, so it's tragic because he actually, like, he kills her, and she doesn't have that. Now that's way better. What the hell? And it's like, that's what I'm talking about. You didn't get to experience the game. That's now your experience with Silent Hill 2 because this movie exists. So
yeah,
I was not a fan. And I've been very puzzled to see, like, it's one thing if you just needed some escapist shit and you really weren't that invested in it, and it's whatever. It was just it was 90 minutes to do something else. I can respect that. But there's been a lot of people where it's like, you're doing fucking gymnastics trying to convince me that this movie is great or somehow misunderstood. And I mean, there's a reason why the dude's beard is going around Twitter everywhere, because it looks like fucking sleepaway camp with that little tape mustache.
The wigs were bad, and that beard was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
Adam?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was the film of the year. No, it was terrible. My review actually just went out right before we went live on this thing. So I think I called it Return to Silent Fart, because I'm really creative with my titling. I was one of the few people that went into this one not playing the games or really being familiar with them at all, outside of the cool pyramid head and some of the hot nurse zombie chicks, whatever they are. So I was looking forward to learning a bit about this franchise and kind of getting lost in it. Oh my God, I was lost, but not in the good way. What a shit show of a narrative. I didn't know what I was supposed to think of the main protagonist. He was such a lame NPC type character. And it was so funny because the movie really did feel like I was watching an Unreal Engine 3 version of the game playing.
I hated how the movie looked.
Oh, it looked terrible. And everybody was so kind of like stilted throughout the film. Like they were like, hello, welcome to Silent Hill. Kind of like just, they had their stock exchanges. Like that woman, what was her name? Amanda or something?
Angela,
right away.
Then,
the first woman he comes
Amanda,
into contact with, but she's like moving some sandbags, and she's like, pick up a sandbag. It's like, okay, I'm going on a fetch quest now, and we're gonna go over to this access point, and then he gets to go on with his mission. Yeah, it was terrible. Just from all across the board visually. There was no thrills or scares because, again, I figured out right away, I think it wasn't a secret, that we're kind of inside this dude's mind for, the entirety of the film. So there's no stakes anymore because nothing is real. It was just a miss.
Did you look up the story of the actual game for like comparison's sake afterwards?
I called my sister right after the movie because she's a massive fan, especially of the second game, which I guess is
you didn't call me. You should have called me.
I didn't know. I didn't know how.
He heard you like the movie, and he said, "I can't trust this guy." So
Rudy's got like a whole fandom going with it, and I didn't know where you were at. But my sister's a massive fan too, so yeah, she filled me in to a point of kind of like obnoxiousness, if that's a word. I was like, I gotta let you go because she's telling me about the 85 different endings you can get and how people are still finding new Easter eggs. And I was like, I gotta go. Bye. But yeah, I heard that it's a far better kind of mind trippy experience.
Well, the frustration aside on how they do all the side characters so dirty, where like one of them is just there to puke in a toilet, kick him and run away, and then he never shows up in the movie again. The other one, who's the most tragic character in the game, is just there. And so that aside, just like I said, if you're just focusing on James's story, they changed two fundamental things for no fucking reason, and it totally takes all the power out of his story. So in the game, he's married to Mary, and she's been dead for 3 years. And he gets a letter 3 years after she's dead saying, "Hey, I'm in Silent Hill. Come find me." Yeah. In the movie, they treat her death like it's a second act plot twist. Like, James, you need to move on. She's actually dead. And it's like, why the fuck did you do that? And she's just like a girlfriend. She's like an extended
I was going to say, I was under the impression they knew each other for like a weekend. I didn't even know
this was like. Yeah, that's what it felt like. And then you get to the end, and the tragic twist with the game is you've gone through all of this, psychological hell, and you find this videotape, and it shows like where she's dying of cancer or something, and it's like 2 years she's dying, and he's so consumed with not being able to move on. And he wants tethered to her that he smothers her to like release himself, and that's his guilt and shit that he's going through. Where in the movie, it's like there's an evil cult, and she's like, "Please put me out of my misery," and it's like, you just what the fuck?
Yeah, they did a lot.
I'm just dead now. Is this audio and video, Rudy?
This is of course it's audio and video.
Oh, well, I didn't know because I'm just a blurry ghost now. Apparently, I don't know what's going on tonight. This happens whenever I do something with someone else. Let me unplug once and see if. Oh, maybe. Okay. Well, we'll just deal with it. We'll just deal.
Usually, like if it comes in a little glitchy when I export it, it comes in 4K. When it comes in crisp, so maybe that's what it is. But if I can just add my final thoughts real quick, they did include the murder in this film. They just did it differently. He still kills a version of his girlfriend, but it's the manifestation of her being in her best form. He still kills her for selfish reasons to get what he wants. So that element is still present. So
as someone who's never played the game, though, it just came off like he did her a solid, and she's like, "Thank you, thank you."
Exactly.
I am not trying to convince you. No, I know you've made up your minds. I am not trying to. But I'm just saying, from a fan, I'm like, okay, I can see this as a movie experience, and that takes me to my next point. Why do you think
$1 million baby situation going on in this film? Go on, sorry.
Exactly. That takes me to my next point. Why do you think video game to movie adaptations never work? Or hardly ever. There's only very few that actually have done well.
It's a couple things. I mean, first of all, and I think this is being evidenced by how well TV shows are doing, where like, second season had its issues, but like Last of Us did so well with the first season. And I've not been able to watch very much of it, but apparently Fallout is really well received.
First season was good. Fallout. I kind of was lost interest in season 2, but season 1 was really good. Yeah.
Well, even so, like I think one big problem is most video games, you're trying to fit 6, 8, 10, 12, 24 hours worth of story, lore, interactions, characters into a 90-minute tops 2-hour film, because video game movies are never very long. And that always restricts you. Even Silent Hill 2, like I could see a way where you could do a 2-hour version of that story. I just feel like they made all the wrong decisions about what to cut, what to condense, and what to change. Then you have the other problem.
Cody, to your point, I even said in my review, it felt like, not knowing the game at all, this felt like a story that probably could have been a mini series on HBO or something.
It needs to be.
And that's what I want going forward. This movie was kind of the thing that killed it for me, where I'm like, going forward, give me a 5-6 episode miniseries at minimum. I don't want to see a Metal Gear Solid movie. I don't want to see a fucking God of War movie. So I think TV series is going to be the way of the future when it comes to video game shit, with few exceptions. But the other problem, and I'm really hoping this is not going to be proven right again with Silent Hill, or excuse me, Resident Evil, but it seems like more times than not, studios, writers, directors, whatever, they take the name, they take the IP, and then they do their own thing with it.
Yeah.
And it almost never measures up. And it gets so frustrating as a fan where some things, it's like, I get it. You can't tell that game story or you can't do it in a movie time, but whatever. Like, but with Silent Hill 2, for example, it's just like, why are you changing things? Why aren't we just adapting things? And with Resident Evil, it's like, can we just adapt the first fucking game once, please? Can we just try it? Can somebody just fucking try it? And we can never get it. Now, I'm a huge Zach Kreger fan, so I have faith if anybody can do it, and I'll like it, it's going to be him. But it's still, my fucking balls start to ache when I read the first thing about it. It's like, Zach Kreger doing Resident Evil. Fuck yeah. And then you read it, and he's like, I'm doing my own original story.
Fuck
shit. Yeah.
No zombies.
Yeah, so that's the two biggest ones for me.
That was, Adam, what's your take why they can't do a great adaptation?
I mean, I mirror those sentiments. I would add on to it. The reason Mario does so well is because there's no story. So Illumination's like, well, shit, nostalgia, reference, it works.
Yeah,
it's perfect. There's no plot. It's a plumber saving a princess from a giant lizard.
It's the game.
That's it. Yeah, no, it really does come down to you're condensing 2 hours, or you're condensing like 10 hours, 12 hours of story, like the Uncharted games and all that into one movie. And so often the studios, I feel like they're not confident with their end product. So like, let's put some stuff from this game and some stuff from this game, and let's just, make an amalgamation of shit, and it'll work. It'll work for people.
Yeah.
And it never works.
Yeah. Or they have
Still
some
can't get
kind
over
of a
Max
marketing.
Payne. Max Payne was such a
I never saw it.
Oh, and I love
so
it.
bad.
Another Mark Wahlberg's in both Uncharted and Max Payne. And,
I didn't even see Uncharted.
I was gonna say Uncharted. Like I liked Uncharted. I didn't hate it, but I'm a massive fan of those games, and those are games where it's like you can do this in a movie. You can do this in a 2-hour runtime. Tom Cruise
stole a lot of those stunts,
and it's that's the other problem, is that sometimes it feels like studios are using the IP as a jumping point for something else. So with Uncharted, initially they had the right idea. They were going around directors. A lot of them were doing really big stuff at the time. They were going like Bradley Cooper was going to be Nathan Drake. Then it was going to be Mark Wahlberg. And it's like a joke now. Chris Pratt. And then eventually Tom Holland, who I'm a big fan of, he's like top dog at Sony. And he's like, hey, let's do it this way. And instead of just doing a faithful Uncharted movie, they're like, let's do a backdoor pilot to do another Tom Holland franchise because he sells movies. And everybody that saw the movie was like, no, he's too young, and Mark Wahlberg is too young to be Sully. That should be switched. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Yeah.
The best adaptation in Uncharted for me was Nate Fillion, the fan-made movie that came out in 2018.
Oh, yeah.
That was
fantastic.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I think Sully from the Avatar movies played Sully. No, what's the actor's name? The guy, you know what I'm talking about.
Shit, yeah. Fuck,
Avatar,
as soon as you said it left my brain.
Wait, which guy?
Stephen Lang.
Oh,
Stephen Lang. He played Sully. He was perfect.
Yeah.
So that's great. So that's a great adaptation. So I guess it comes down to who's in control of it. If somebody like a fan has total control, they can make a full, wonderful adaptation. But when the studio gets involved, you have studio notes and all these other suggestions, and it gets torn to shit.
It feels like people that don't understand the source material. They don't understand why people love the source material, and they have no idea what is important to preserve about the source material. And that's what I would say about Return to Silent Hill, where they're like, I know how to make this look like Silent Hill, sort of, but like they clearly did not understand what the important pieces of that story and those themes were, because all of them got changed and altered.
It's also hard when you have some of these games that kind of play out like movies to begin with, like The Last of Us and Uncharted and even God of War to an extent. There's these massive cinematics and there's motion capture and actors are playing these roles. So then to kind of try to emulate that onto the big screen, it feels more like like a Disney remake of its own movie, going from the animated one to the live action one. Now you're going from the video game to the live action. It's like, that doesn't look like that guy, and that guy put in a better performance as a video game character than this person's doing. It's hard. It's different when you go from a book to a movie. Then you have a separation factor. You don't visually see what's going on from Harry Potter's pages to the big screen. But yeah, there's just too much. There's too much closeness there, I think, with especially in Uncharted, where the games are already emulating a lot of big budget movies or like your Indiana Joneses. So then you're kind of going back on it again. It feels like a step down in a lot of ways.
On that note, how do you guys feel? I get this argument a lot when it comes to video game adaptations, especially the ones that are bad that some of us tear up. There's people out there that say, like with Silent Hill, you want, as a fan, to have a faithful adaptation. You want it to deliver as much about that experience playing the game as they can. There's people out there that are vehemently opposed to that. And they're like, I already have the game. It's stupid for me to go watch a movie and just see the same story, the same themes, the same characters. And I've never understood that, because for me, like with Last of Us, for example, season 1, now they made some changes, but overall that was pretty good adaptation of like, let's take the experience of that first game and put it on to the big screen. Or I guess a small screen. But for me, like, it's cool to see that on screen. It's cool to have that story, a new version of that to experience. But for me, it's more so of like people like my dad who are never going to play a video game in their life. And I know how awesome that story and those characters are. And now there's a version that he can go experience that and be like, holy shit, that was really fucking good. And I'm like, I know, the fucking game's even better. Like, that's what I hope for. So I get really frustrated and confused when you get something like that and people shit on it, because it's like, well, I'll just go play the game. If you're not going to make it totally different, why do it?
There's going to be people that you can't make happy. I mean, and I get the story. I mean, like I said in my review, that story is so treasured. Any deviation from it is going to piss off a lot of people, and it's evident out there that you see that everyone's upset. So when it comes to adaptations, I don't want a copy and paste. I remember there were some episodes in The Last of Us season 1 where I was bored because I knew what was going to happen. But I get from the new fan experience, it's something for them to experience. But for me as a fan, I'm like, I know what's going to happen here. It's kind of predictable. So I do want some changes, but you can't take away from the core beats.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, I got a couple. I mean, I'm a little all over on my thoughts with it because I think it's a case-by-case basis. For instance, the Disney live action stuff remaking all of its IPs as live action, I do think they're all pretty bad in comparison to the animated one. And there are people, though, that don't want to watch a cartoon because it's a cartoon, and adults think that, they have to see a live action person and not an animated one. So for them, it's a good experience. But for me, I'm bitter, and I'm just thinking Disney's throwing all of this money and the resources at this instead of making something new. And that's frustrating. And I can also see that for, it's no different than a book reader that's like, I can't believe they're making this book into a movie. They're going to ruin it. And it just comes from a place of passion in those aspects, I think, where they know ahead of time, like, there's no way they're doing this right. I see the studio behind it. I see the writer attached to it. It's going to be shit. So I go back and forth, but then I do agree. Like Cody's dad, he's not going to play the video game, so it's great for him to at least get like an 80%, great version. It's not going to be as good as what we have with the game, but it gets pretty close, I think. So yeah, I go back and forth on it. I think it's a case by case thing where there's going to be the greedy side where they're just going to make it to cash grab, and then there's going to be the side where they're going to try their hand and see if they can make something good.
Yeah. And I'm going to totally shift subjects here. We'll get back to the movies in a bit, but I wanted to get you guys flowing and warmed up. So that was my little trick behind the scenes there. Okay. Adam, I saw your live a couple of weeks back, and I tend to watch and don't participate because I like to snoop and stalk you. So it's very entertaining live too. Yeah.
You enjoy watching the shit show play out in real time.
You're hilarious, motherfucker. You're funny. Anyway, but somebody had super chatted you, and I want to bring this up because one, all of us are men. I'm 48. Everyone's married, has kids, and we've been there, done that. Somebody had asked in your chat, have you ever gotten close to a divorce? And this is where the rude advice stuff comes in. And I wanted to ask you guys this question again, share what you want, but have you guys ever gotten to a point where your marriage was about to be over, but then you went ahead and saved it?
I mean, I answered that on the live, but yes, I did. There was one point, I think both my kids were born, but Connor was very little. It was probably his first year. I was going from Big Lake, Minnesota to the Twin Cities, which is about an hour and a half commute every day. And I was straight up like planes, trains, automobiles. I would get on a North Star train. It would take me 45 minutes to the light rail in downtown Minneapolis from the Twin Cities Stadium over to the new football stadium, which was still being built. And then I would hoof it on foot to get to my shitty job that I hated and was underpaid. And I would do this every day. So it was like hour and a half commute, work for, 8 hours, commute back. And then as soon as I walk in the door, my wife, who's staying at home at the time with the 2 kids, she's completely stressed out. She's at home all day, stuck with these little shits that don't appreciate her. And so the first thing she does when I walk in, it's not a hello, good to see you. It's throw the kids at me. She's pissed off and jealous because I'm out. I'm pissed off and jealous because she's in and doesn't have to work and she's with the kids. So there was a lot of pressure points. Plus, financially, especially today, it's incredibly hard to have just one income. Granted, I have 2 incomes with my 2 jobs, but still, it's really hard. And there's resentment there. But then you feel a lot of emotions. So yeah, that was a breaking point for us, and it could have gone either way, but we worked it out. We pumped the brakes. I talked to my mom. She kind of talked me off a ledge, and I'm really glad she did, because it could have been really ugly. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to have to fight for my kids to see them. I wanted to be selfish and have 100%, full lay of the land with the kids, and I did not, and I pictured myself without my wife, and I got incredibly sad. So that was a pretty easy way to talk myself off a ledge too. Like, do I feel like my life's going to be better with or without her? How much am I going to miss her when she's not around? And so, yeah, we haven't had any issues ever since then. Obviously, there's going to be spats and marital fights. You would have that with anyone you room with. Yeah. But that was a long time ago now. My kids are pretty damn grown. I got a 16-year-old and a 13-year-old. So,
and I think a lot of young people don't understand how much your relationship changes when kids are involved, much less 2, because it's exhausting. All the attention goes to the kids. You're stressed out of your mind as well. Because I get the routine and just the back and forth and all that, and that's where a lot of marriages tend to fracture. Somebody just calls it quits. I don't have any help. I feel alone, isolated. You don't appreciate me. I don't appreciate you. So yeah, and that's awesome that you both kind of communicated and talked about it, and now you guys are in a better place. So, if to the young people who are about to get married or people maybe in your situation, like, what advice? Like, let's say they're going to get married next week. Like, what advice would you give a young couple before they went and had kids and started their lives?
Well, I'm no psychiatrist or anybody you should probably get advice from, but just for my own personal experience, I mean, I've known Lindsay, my wife, since high school. We are the stereotypical high school sweethearts, and she was my best friend before she was my wife. I think that's a critical piece to know. Don't marry someone just out of lust. You got to have more than that.
Yes.
You want someone that when you're 80 years old and you have no sex drive at all, you still enjoy that person's company. Maybe you're 80 and you still have a sex drive. I hope I do. I'm just saying.
Probably not.
Probably, yeah. You just want to die at that point. Yes. But no, we were very familiar with each other for many years before we got married. We even lived together. We moved out of state to Arizona, where she had a teaching job, and I'm like, I'll find something out there, which thankfully I did. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I think as far as advice goes, it really is true. You should marry your best friend. You should marry someone that is going to make you happy more than she's going to bring you down or he's going to bring you down or whatever. I don't even know what your question was anymore, Rudy, but I guess my advice is just
you answered it. So
if you're thinking of tying in the knot, make sure you know what you're getting in for. Like, I do think rooming with the person is not a bad idea. I suppose in most Catholic households or whatever the stigma is, not looked upon as a good thing, but
it's blasphemy.
Just like having kids, once you have a roommate, like, all bets are off. You're going to find out exactly how that person lives, how clean they are, how particular they are. And these are all things that could break you pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What was I going to say? Shit, I had a point. God damn it. Cody, you're up. What did you have? If you have anything.
I mean, knock on wood, no, I've never really been close to that point, luckily. I mean, we've had our rough patches, our spats or whatever, but there's never been anything, even the worst of it, that ever felt it was anywhere close to being towards the end. But I mean, I'm kind of an odd situation. Like me and my wife kind of did everything wrong from a textbook standpoint. I mean, she had a previous marriage. She had 2 kids when I met her. She had just gotten legally divorced right when I started dating her. I mean, it was a long period where it was over, but as far as the courts go,
it takes time.
It was official like right when I started dating her. And, you know, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I was like night and day from the person that she was married to before, which was intoxicating and exciting for her. I had been in a number of relationships before, but I don't think my wife actually believes me when I tell her this. She's genuinely the only woman I've ever loved. Like, there's never been a relationship where I was like, this is something that could go far. It was just like, it was never there. It was always a missing piece. And then so when I met her, that was very exciting and intoxicating for me. And so we really like rushed into it. You know, we gave into all the excitement. We started dating in November 2014. By February of 2015, we were moved in together. Wow. And I was overnight dad to a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old. So we never had that point in our relationship where we had the before kids. We've always had kids. So we're kind of looking forward to that empty nesting stage more than most people because we never got that.
Yeah.
The biggest advice that I can give, first of all, to Adam's point about like the Catholic households and stuff like that, there's no formula for any of this. People like to act like there's a rule book. Like I'm proof you can do everything wrong and still come out at the end pretty good.
You broke all my rules of my advice, by the way. You're doing
exactly,
great.
Exactly. And there were rough patches because of that. Trust me. Like we had to like learn each other's faults while we were already too deep in to get out. You know what I mean? So my advice would be a lot of what Adam said, but also everybody's different. Some people work good with taking it slow, becoming roommates, getting married. Some people work good with just jumping in. You just know. There's people that I know that do everything wrong that are together the rest of their lives. There's people I know that follow all the rules that are fucking divorced and cheat and do all that other shit. So there's not really any rules to it. But as far as relationships, I think like it's kind of cliche, but communication really is the big thing. Mm-hmm. Like I see the most unhappy couples are the ones that just don't speak. They don't talk to each other.
And we all know that couple, right? There's always that one couple
honest. Yeah. And sometimes, and maybe sometimes to a fault, like I'm very bluntly honest with my wife. And so sometimes I think she's a little bit rattled sometimes when I'll just say something. And then like, to me, it's better just to say it versus beat around the bush and you know, hint at things. But I think another big one, I think Steve Harvey said it the best. He said, when you get married, you form a two-handed circle and you don't let anybody in. And that was something that caused a lot of issues for us early on. So I can prove with my own experience how important that is. Because when we first got together, when we started having little issues, medium issues or whatever, I'd go vent to my dad, I'd vent to my friend, she'd go vent to her mom, I'd vent to her friend. And sometimes you'll get that honest friend that will be devil's advocate and will tell you you're wrong. But for the most part, people like to affirm whatever you need. So if I go to my dad and my friend, they're going to tell me I'm right. She's being a bitch. If I go, or she goes to her mom and her friend, they're going to tell her that she's right and I'm being an asshole. And then all that does is make it even harder for you guys to figure it out because you're that much more set in stone and I'm right. There's nowhere to give. And so that was
ironically, Cody, when my wife goes to her mom almost always takes my side. So it kind of works the opposite. I don't know what it is, but
I bet she doesn't like that one bit.
Oh yeah,
no, she doesn't.
My wife gets that now from her coworkers. Like now that we're in a really good spot in our relationship. Yeah. I'm successful and I do a lot of things for her, especially now that I'm at home. And so like, yeah, I have my faults, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people apparently at her work treat me as like the trophy husband. Nice. And so every time she bitches, they're like, shut the fuck up. He's probably building you a greenhouse right now. Just go the fuck home and be quiet. Like, so it works to my advantage. But yeah, so that was something that I learned early on. And we came to that agreement within like the first year where it's like, I've noticed every time we have an argument, we come back and we almost always say, well, my friend said, and that never helps us. So we very quickly agreed, like, we can tell funny anecdotes and shit like that, or if it's harmless, but like if it's a legit issue, we need to figure it out ourselves and not involve other people because then it just gets more messy. Yeah. I could go on with a bunch of other ones, but that was one of the biggest ones early on.
Do you ever like lose your temper one day and just like, you know who the fuck I am? I'm Cody Leach, bitch. Do you ever say anything like that?
You don't know me.
People respect me.
I'm going to tell everybody what the fuck you just did.
People respect me all over the world, and you don't respect me in my own fucking house.
Yeah. I'm rating you rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, bitch. No, I've never
Cody's a
done that.
narcissist. We had no idea. Oh my God. But you're right, dude. One of the first foot in the door entries to cheating is people confiding about their marital problems with somebody at work, somebody of the opposite sex. Somebody usually is a woman or man, and they're attractive. And then that person, they validate them. You know what? If I was your husband, I would never do that. No, you deserve this, you deserve that, or vice versa. Then that bond starts. And then they start meeting each other. Then they start texting each other. Then they start going to lunch. And before you know it, she's giving him roadhead in his Dodge Ram. So
as one does, yeah.
As one does, yeah. And I'm only saying this because I've heard the story so many times. Like when it comes to marital problems, you have to be able to talk to each other and feel heard. Communication's important, definitely. But people don't listen. Is the same thing. People are waiting to talk. So you need to have that camaraderie. If you don't, people will go outside. And you also have to be careful who you ask advice from. If your buddy has nothing but shit relationships and he's never had a healthy one, why are you going to ask him for advice? He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Not to do.
Exactly. I guess so. But you really want to. And plus, everybody knows your business. Everyone says they're not going to say anything, but everybody always talks anyway. Before you know it, you go to that big party and everyone's going to be giving you the face.
On that note, too, that's the other important piece that I forgot. Thank you for bringing that up. So even if you do eventually go back and you have a conversation and you guys come to an agreement, or you whatever, you settle whatever the issue is, the more that you do that, the more that you go to your friends and your family with all of your baggage, they don't get that forgiveness piece. Like they don't get the emotions that you have whenever you guys resolve things. And so now they just have this fucking laundry list of shit they don't like about you.
Yeah. And you go to the Thanksgiving, like whatever, like party or whatever. Like, hey, Cody, you all right? They give you that look without saying anything, but you know what they're saying and thinking, like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, not Cody. Cody, everybody loves Cody.
Oh,
when his wife shows up at Thanksgiving over there, he's already going to be in the house with the turkey. Like, oh, hey, sweetie, I got here a little early with your friends. Come on in.
You can see him with that woman's apron right in the oven mix.
Your husband is the best.
Yeah. What would you say? What's a good age to get married?
14.
There's no
15. Yeah. Something really young, inappropriately young. Yes.
Oh, that's horrible. What do y'all think?
No, I don't think there's a magic number for that either. I mean, I know I have a coworker who's on his third marriage, and this time it's the right one. And to be fair, he seems incredibly happy. It has been a lot longer than his other two, and he's probably in his 50s. So for him, 50 was the magic number.
It wasn't the number of marriages; it was the age.
It was 50. The age. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think it's more of a level of maturity versus age, and we all reach different levels of maturity differently. Like there's people that are ready for settling down, having kids, starting a family right out of high school. There's people that need to party through their 20s and part of their 30s before they're ready to do that.
Now, when you say party, you mean be promiscuous or just go have fun?
Both.
You think so?
Because you really, depending on your relationship, you really can't do a lot of that once you get together with somebody, especially once kids are involved.
Oh,
that stops it immediately.
It's over. Yeah.
I think I've been to a grand total of maybe 4 bars since being with Lindsay. Like,
oh my
total. Because I would avoid that shit. Because I know my buddies would all be going out to get drunk. They'd inevitably hit on someone. I'd be put in a situation where I was going to get in trouble. I don't even drink to begin with. So that's another reason I don't go to bars, because nobody invites me, because they know I'm going to be the guy that's judging everyone that night.
Yeah.
But regardless, we always had that understanding before we even got married that, hey, why are you going to put yourself in a dumbass situation where the only reason you're going to go here is to possibly look for trouble?
Yeah.
So.
Adam, do you feel like people look at you, maybe not in a negative, but like almost like a weird trait to not drink? Because I have that same problem.
Nobody drinks
all the time.
I'm the only one. Not socially, I drink, but I don't drink. I drink once a month. But nobody drinks. You, Sean, Adam, nobody. I'm the only one.
We had neighbors in South Carolina that were great, and they had their friends over that also were down the road from them. So it was a neighbor get together, and we were invited, and they were drinking, and we were having a blast. And I got to tell you, I was on fucking fire that night. They were laughing all night. I'm like, this is it. We got a friend group. And then it was just dead silence going forward. Like occasionally we'd say hi and we'd get together for like go to the beach or something, but it was never a nighttime hangout. And I know it's because we didn't drink.
No, it was because you're like 6'3" and you're muscular. You're the hot guy. They don't want you around their wives.
6'4". I said 6'3" before Lindsay would get so mad at me. She's like, why do you pare yourself down to 6'3"? You're 6'4" and you always say 6'3". I'm like, I'm humbling myself, Lindsay. Do you have any idea the power that comes with a 6'4" height?
No.
But no, I'm sure it's because we didn't drink that we don't get those invites back. And it's weird. But it's because people are very vulnerable when they get into those positions, and they don't want to see. They don't want people there with clear minds and clear eyes judging them. Even if I don't care when people drink. I think it's fun, and it loosens a lot of people up.
Yeah, the inhibitions.
It's not my style. Yeah,
they also
I'm already
probably
an idiot.
They probably didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable, because I know if I drank in front of Cody or Sean or you, I wouldn't want you guys to feel uncomfortable. Maybe you're tempted because I know
I don't
some
have
of our friends
temptation.
had like a past.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. And I that's the thing that's funny too, is like whenever you tell people you don't drink, they always automatically leap to some assumption that you've had like some bad relationship with alcohol in the past.
Or you're like a really devout Christian or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And like and there are people like that. Like our buddy Sean's been very open about that. But like for me, it was literally just when I had kids, I just lost the taste for it. Like I grew up with an alcoholic mother, eventually a drug addict mother. My dad even he was never an alcoholic, but I'd seen my dad drunk plenty of times, not nearly as bad as my mom. But I didn't realize until I had kids how much baggage that shit was for me, where I'm like, I don't ever want them to have a memory of me acting weird or saying some dumb shit or fucking stumbling over myself. And so whenever I got with Holly and instantly had kids, it was just like, no, I'm good. Like, and I'll once in a great while, like I'll have one beer if I'm at a place, or, if I'm out with Holly, maybe I'll have a drink. Like I had one drink whenever we were in LA for the Critics' Choice Awards, and it was strong as fuck. But,
I can see you guys turning into Frank the Tank after you
Holy Cody, we talked about this.
Like, where's Adam? He's streaking.
I'm on stage and like, Adam Sandler, we're going streaking through the quad into the gymnasium. Let's go. Woo, Jay Kelly.
Cody's running naked through the Critics' Choice Awards tables past Leonardo DiCaprio.
Exactly.
Well, and again, I drink socially, but again, I'm in San Antonio, like 30 minutes north of me is New Braunfels. It's primarily a German community. They speak German there, believe it or not. So there's like the Wurst Fest, there's Fiesta. I grew up with a lot of alcohol. I've seen my parents drunk, but they stopped drinking after they became born again Christians. But once I had kids, I chose never to get drunk. So I've never been drunk, like wasted, since my kids were born. I'll get loose a little bit, have fun, but I don't do it as much as I used to anymore. Maybe one time a month, maybe with friends, but I won't come home after a hard day's work. Like, you know what? And just drink some Jack Daniels or something like that. I won't do that. I can't drink alone. That feels weird.
Yeah.
I feel like my dad somehow was a genius with his weird parenting styles, because I never smoked and I never drank, just full stop. And it's because his buddy, maybe they were his, I was not even like 14. He had cigarettes on the dash. And I was like, what are those, Dad? Cigarettes? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you smoke? He's like, no, my friends. You want to try one? And so at 14, he had me try one. I was like, I'm like dying. Yeah. And then he turns, he says, don't smoke.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, lesson learned. And it was the same thing with alcohol. He had a beer. My dad's side of the family, heavy drinkers. But he had I don't know what it was, some type of beer, Budweiser or something. He said, you want to try it? And I was probably 15 or 14 at the time then. And it was disgusting. And so I was like, why the fuck would I want to like train myself to drink something that I hate the taste of? And then there's that other part of me that's like, I hate all this establishment marketing where you can only be cool and be loose if you're drinking to have a good time. And so that annoyed me. And so that, on top of the gross taste, really it's made me the man taste. I am.
Yeah, I get annoyed about that too, because I feel like there's a lot of people that convince themselves they can't have fun unless they're buzzed. And it's like, you can have a lot of fun without it. You just got to try it.
Yeah, it's possible.
Right. Try not having to stick up your ass. It's refreshing.
The reason I asked about the age is because I had a woman who went viral on TikTok saying that she was a bitch and she treated her ex-husband like shit and that she didn't appreciate what she had. And now that he's gone and she divorced, she regrets leaving him. And her video went viral. So I messaged her and like, hey, would you like to be on my podcast? And she said yes. And we talked. And when it comes to the age, I think we both arrived to, you have to go live. Because again, 18, you're at your mom and dad's and maybe you go to college or whatever. And then you're going to school. And then right after that, you got your degree and then you get married. You really haven't given your chance an opportunity to go explore yourself. Like Cody said, you can either be promiscuous, you can either go out and do whatever. I think from what I've seen and with the thousands of people that I've spoken to, everybody owes it to themselves before they say I do and get settled. A 5-year window of alone time, like solitude, like a journey, like a TV show. Go out and see what you like. Go fail, go start a business, go explore, date people. Just go see what's out there. So you develop a self-identity, you develop a foundation and know what you want. And then when you figure out what you want and what you're looking for, you can then, meet somebody and then start the family because she got married at 19. I go, why did you do that? I got pregnant. So I got pregnant and we got married really fast because my dad was old school Mexican, shotgun wedding. You're not going to leave this house until you're married to honor the family. So they got married. And then within a 3-year, 4-year window, she started hating her husband because she said she went to social media and saw people going on trips, doing all these things, having fun. Meanwhile, she's stuck at the house with 2 kids and she started getting resentment and she started attacking her husband. And, a lot of people wonder, like, why is my wife all mad at me? And it's not really that you're doing anything. It's just they hate themselves. She said, I hated myself. I hated that I didn't have an opportunity to go out and explore. I've only slept with one man. I didn't know what life was like. I felt like I missed out on something. And there was this regret and anger that consumed me. And I was totally ugly to my husband. And it wasn't him. It was me. And that's what led to her divorce because the curiosity of like what I could have been. And a lot of people experience that too. Like maybe you get married young and then you lose a lot of weight and then look like Adam, like a fucking goddess. And then you start getting attention like from people that you never thought you could even attract. And like, holy shit, I can attract this woman. Women get the mommy makeovers and they look super hot. Then they get an attention they haven't gotten before. Maybe you get a raise and now you're talking to an upper echelon of people who are smart. You're traveling. You're seeing a world that you had no fucking idea existed. And you're experiencing new things and like, oh my God, I totally missed out on this life, but I got to go back to that. And there's some people who there's some people who aren't even attracted to their husband or wife anymore because they loved them when they were younger, but now as they got older, they let themselves go or maybe didn't keep up. And now they don't even find them attractive. They love them, but they're not attractive. So there's a lot of people that are stuck there. So what advice would you give somebody who like that curiosity is just consuming them? Like, what do I do? I mean, what advice would you give them? Your face is good night, everybody.
I don't know, man. I mean, like I feel like if you're in a marriage where you're that consumed with the curiosity, then something vital is missing there. Like you guys you're not intimate enough, or the passion's not there.
She said sex wasn't an issue. They had sex all they want.
Something. Some people need to travel. You need to figure out what is missing. What are you not getting from your significant other that is enticing you to these other people? Be honest about it and figure out if that can be fixed or not. Because, like, I mean, especially we're 3 guys. Like, guys are always looking. Guys are always curious. Like, I don't care how happily married you are. You're not going to look at Salma Hayek and not be like, yeah.
You're not going to look at a spider in Silent Hill, look at that ass and like, you know what? I would tap that.
I tell my wife all the time when we go to the health club, like if there's women in yoga pants, there is a 0% chance I'm not going to look at some point at her ass. It's just my animal instinct is going to shoot me there. So you can't get mad. Otherwise, I'm not going with you.
Do that hall pass thing where you point your face where they're walking. So, No, there's something there. I mean, there's always going to be curiosity, but if it's that rabid where it's just like I'm consumed with what might be with somebody else, then there's something missing, and maybe you can't fix it. I mean, then maybe that's the first sign of
you weren't ready.
You guys got to take a hard look at each other and start that process, which is scary as fuck. But there's something there,
I do think there's also a severe lack of appreciation these days for just what you have because of social media. People see so much crap online. Or like, this person's living in a mansion and, most of it's fake anyways. But they believe it's real. And so like, well, why can't I have that? Why can't I have the dude with the six pack who owns his own fleet of like, energy drinks and he flies around the world?
Yeah.
It's not real.
Adam.
It's a fantasy. Yes. Why can't I be like Adam? Basically, is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy for most, not my wife, but for most.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that I would say to your earlier point, Rudy, about the shotgun marriage is this was something that was very embedded in me and my wife too, which was, and I think a lot of people our generation, if you're a success, you're married, you have a full-time job, you have a couple kids, you have the white picket fence in the house. That's the definition of success. Otherwise, you're failing. And I would say to anyone that's young or thinking about getting married, you do not have to get married. You do not have to have a full-time job where you're making six figures to be happy. You could be living with the clothes on your back, traveling the world, and that might be perfect for you. And I would just say, get away from the norms, because the funniest thing about all of this, the biggest, worst secret ever is all these people that are trying to keep up with the Joneses and pretend that their family is perfect. And, oh God, you got pregnant. You got to get married to make it look like, we have this perfect household
face,
still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's so many skeletons in those closets. You would not believe it.
Yep.
It's remarkable how miserable a lot of those folks are that are trying to make your image better.
Yep. Most of my clients,
that's just what I've learned.
Yeah. Most of my clients, after I meet with them, I'll look them up, just kind of, I'm seeing them for 6 weeks, right? So most of the people that are going through divorce, you look on Facebook, you wouldn't even know they were going through a bad time. They look happy, they look great, whatever the case is. But there's always something. And the question that I asked, I just want to see what y'all would say. But in my opinion, I don't think there's really anything you can do. I mean, because if you're just consumed with this idea, like Inception, they said an idea just grows into like an infection and you're just consumed with it. I mean, if that curiosity will just ultimately get to you, and I don't know if anybody can actually harbor that. That's why I tell everybody, what's the appropriate age? I mean, there's no age, but if you were to ask me, I'd say 27. Like after 20 to 27, those are 7 years of you. Go do whatever the hell you want. Avoid relationships. Don't have kids. Go explore. Just do whatever the fuck you want, right? And then see, once you figure out who you are, then you can settle in. But that curiosity, man. And and I'll admit it, my first marriage, I thought that too. I lost a lot of weight and I started getting attention. I was like, wow, I didn't know I was good looking. I thought I was a fat kid from, St. Gerard, high school, and had a unibrow, and, nobody liked me. I always picture myself as that guy. And it really did get to me. And that was one of the reasons why we ended up divorcing. Of course, many other reasons, she cheated, I cheated back, that whole story. But going out and single, I definitely, got the chance to go out there and do what I wanted to do. And I'm glad I did it, because in a way, what's out there. And after a while, that it's really nothing. The woman that I interviewed, she says, I dated the first boyfriend I had was this tall, muscular guy that I was so attracted to. Oh my God. But after a few months, you don't even care about that anymore, because it's how they treat you. And he wasn't anywhere near her husband. Her husband would rub her feet, give her back rubs, kiss her, spoil her. He was an electrician. He did everything right. And she'll think she'll never find that again. So it's really the curiosity. If you're thinking about it, it's there. But once you go out there, you understand it's not the same and not what you're looking for. And like to your point, Adam, to the very beginning, be careful who you marry. Marry your best friend, because looks fade. Too many young guys want to marry the baddie. And I get the trophy wife. It's a status thing. And, every guy wants the hot wife when you go to the friend barbecue. And then, what else? Like, it also does something for your ego. But in the end, if they don't treat you well and love you, you're miserable. You're miserable, and it's always one-sided. You're giving her everything, and she doesn't even want to suck your dick. She's I'm not going to do that.
With all the money you spent on lip fillers, ironically.
Yeah.
Who's that for? Yeah.
If she's not sucking your dick, she's not into you guys.
What you said. No shit.
Yeah.
Well, what you said really speaks to what I was saying earlier about like how I kind of like really instantly just got intoxicated with what I felt for my wife, because I won't go into it for too long, but like I was...
Take your time, dude. Take your time. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Out of high school, like I was trying to follow all the rules. I'm going to go to college. Everything's going to be good. I got the world figured out. And I dropped out after a year. I fucking hated college. I hate the major that I was convinced to go into. And then I was literally just lost. And so from 19 until I was like 20, almost 23. I was like 22 and like 3/4 at that point. It was like October. So I was not far away from 23. I had to move back in with my parents. And so my early 20s, especially right after 21 and everything, like I didn't really get to do a whole lot because I didn't have my own place. I'm not going to take a girl back to mom and dad's house. That's fucking embarrassing to even say that I live there. Yeah, but you know what I mean? So like there was a big part of me that felt like some of my early 20s and like even the late part of my teenage years, those college years were just like kind of robbed from me. And so when I finally did move up the ladder a little bit where I was working, start making good money, was able to afford my own place, like I fucking went wild for about a year. As soon as I had my own place, it was like I made up for those 4 years that I missed in a year. And like you said, it was fun, and you kind of go for the things that you think that you want, and very quickly the luster wears off on all of them. And what the common thread was like at best it was like casual hookups, and it's like, I mean, this is fun, but like I don't know, like this just feels very skin deep, you know, no pun intended.
There was a pun intended. Shut up.
Yeah, and so
it was like just the tip.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it just that after a while started to really get boring and unsatisfying for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I started dating my wife, and I tell her this the moment that I think I fell in love with her. It was December, so we'd only been dating like a month. And somehow in like a casual conversation, I brought up the fact that I never actually had like a real Christmas tree growing up. We always had the fake one. And she was like revolted at that. Like to me, that was normal. You don't go out and chop the fucking tree down or go to a tree farm. You just bought the one from Walmart and you put the old same dusty shit back up every year.
Right.
And so like casually I brought that up. And the same day that I brought that up, she just shows up unannounced at my door with a Christmas tree that she went and bought for me after getting off for, she was in the Army at the time.
Did she have
and just that one little thing there? It was it was like a Charlie Brown one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Power squats it down.
Where do I put this? But no, so it was this little Charlie Brown tree for my apartment at the time.
That's
but
cool.
Just that one little act of, I heard something that you were missing and I went and got it for you because I care about you. Like just that's one little thing I never got from anybody else. And so that was the thing that for me, like she was intoxicated at the fact that I wasn't a piece of shit and I actually cared about staying around and you know, even kids that I didn't create, I was there for them. And for me, it was like, oh, this person actually gives a shit about me. I'm not just
different, right?
Yeah. And so very much
shout out to all the men out there for putting the bar really low for us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I've told the story, and Cody, I know he gets sick and tired of me telling about my past, but 5 years I was out there before I met my love witch, my wife, in 2020, and I was having a blast, dude. I had a roster, 3 women a week. I saw Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, sometimes Wednesday. I'm not kidding.
Rule of 3, people. Rule of 3.
Different. I was just having a blast, dude, and it's fun. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I sow your oats is what they say. I guess I don't know. I did my thing, but I remember one day my dad had a heart attack, and I go to the emergency room. This is like 2018. And there's my mom. She's right there by his bedside, holding his hand like that, right? Then I look, there's my sister and her husband. There's my nephew and his wife. And I'm by myself. And I'm like, this is life. It's these moments that matter, to have somebody next to you. If I called any one of these 12 women, none of them are going to show up. They may text me, but there's no connection really. It's just dopamine and orgasm. And then I'll see you next week. That's all it is, right? That's all it was. So seeing that, it just brought me back like, okay, this is what matters. This is what you're looking for when things go bad, not when you're doing great and you're wonderful and life's great. It's when things go bad, who's going to be there? And that's when I realized, you know what? I think it's time for me to just settle down and look for that. And I didn't think I'd find it because at the time I had my ideal women. I thought I had figured out women. I thought women were like all toxic and all this shit. Then I meet my wife and she's the complete opposite. Like this can't be real. This can't. No, but she is the most genuine, lovely woman I've ever met, and I'm fucking lucky to have her. And when you have it, you don't want to let go. And again, there's no curiosity out there. I know it's out there. I'm not gonna trade any of that shit. We're all creators. I know you don't have to say it a lot, but I know sometimes maybe you get a woman hitting on you. I still give booty pics every now and then, and I show my wife, like, look what I got. You better block that bitch. I show her. She's got access to everything, dude. That's how cool we are. She doesn't get jealous because she knows I'm not dumb enough to do anything.
My wife would lose her fucking mind.
You're cool. Dude, we're all attractive men, especially Adam. We're all attractive men, especially
I've had a lot of men hit on me, but never a woman.
Me too.
Oh, I've had a lot of that too, man.
Yeah.
They're fucking bold.
This guy said he wanted me to be his cum dumpster.
Yeah. Oh, that was me. Wow. You got that message?
And I show my wife that screenshot. She goes, "Well, you better sell feet pics on that gay OnlyFans. Get some money."
I'll bring those up as a joke to my wife, because that joke will land. I'm like, look, this dude says he's going to worship my cock. I got options. You better not fuck up.
And then in the back of your mind, after you start
I'm about
laughing,
ready to jump ship. Spin the bottle on this thing.
And then at night you're thinking, he would actually be pretty good at that. So, I mean, turn off the lights. It's not gay, right? See, Cody's not laughing.
Anyway, thinking about it.
He's thinking about it, right?
He's like, processing.
But now let's go to cheating. Real quick. One of my favorite James Cameron movies is True Lies. Have y'all seen True Lies?
Love it.
Of course.
It's one of those movies that as I got older, it got funnier. Because as a grown man, had married, divorced, Bill Paxton in that movie is fucking hilarious, man. But
it's so good.
That movie, Jamie Lee Curtis technically has an affair, an emotional affair with this person. I'm going to do my best to share this screen so we can. I'm just going to play a clip from the interrogation, and I want to ask y'all something after the fact. So just 1 second here. That's the clip there, but I wanted to show that because in this movie, Harry Tasker, he's a spy, and he totally neglects his wife. He's out there doing his thing. He's having fun, and he then gets under. He finds out that Jamie may be having an affair. And I love that part where he tells his Tom Arnold, like, "Hey, I think my wife's having an affair." He's like, "Welcome to the club, man." I told Cody that if he ever finds out his wife's cheating, I'm gonna do the same thing to him. Like, welcome to the club, dude. But he says, "What did you expect, Harry? She's a flesh and blood woman, and you're never there." So, in the movie, I know people frown upon cheating, but in this particular case, if you have somebody who's completely neglected, would you be shocked, or is this accepted in this scenario? And would you be surprised if it happened?
Surprised, no, but I don't know. Like, you throw around the word accepted, like
validated.
Of course, it's never easy. And granted, I've never been anywhere close to it, so I have less room to talk to anybody. But like for me, my whole approach, like, I try. I mean, when you're a spy, obviously it's different for the fantasy of the movie, but we all have things in life that's like, man, I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to travel to this place, or I want to see this place, or I want to be able to accomplish this. And I have my goals. My wife has her own certain goals. And the way that I think that we work really well, we try to make each other's dreams come true. We try to make each other's goals work. You know, my wife always wanted a greenhouse. And so whenever I had a lot of extra money, I bought one. I fucking built one. I put it in the backyard.
Painted the house
even
green.
Even though I had, exactly. Even though I said it numerous times, like leading up to that, where she's like, "I need this," and I'm like, "What the fuck do we need a greenhouse for? What are you even going to do in a greenhouse?" Like, but whatever. It made her happy. I built one. You know, the YouTube stuff. I've never been able to take my wife on trips because we don't have a whole lot of people that are available to watch our kids for us, and so it's logistically could never happen. But luckily, this January, we were able to do that. And so I took her to LA and took her to the Critics' Choice Awards, which is a fun, cool event in and of itself. But I just had fun watching her, where she's like, "I'm living the fucking Hollywood life for a night. Like, I'm hanging like fucking Adam Sandler's right there. I'm going to go up and say something to Seth Rogen." And so like, I get to like live vicariously through her. And
as an aside, I was bummed I couldn't go to that with you guys. I wanted to go this year, but my kid had a $6,000 dental bill that I had to pay. And then Lindsay had a bill, and it was like, oh, I love.
Did they get a grill with diamonds? What is up with that, dude? $6,000? No,
he had to get all 4 of his wisdom teeth out, and he had another tooth that was going in sideways. It was completely impacted, and he had to remove that. So I was like, well, next year maybe.
Always with the teeth, man. He's fucking Invisaligns. That was $5,000 right out the pocket.
Oh yeah, I had the Invisaligns too. Yeah,
I did too. Yep. And best investment ever.
$5,000. Mine was like $6,200, I think.
I think it probably depends on how many trays you need. So mine's not super. Yep, exactly.
Well, you have like 90 teeth in your mouth for some reason. This is odd. Well,
yeah, like Andre the Giant teeth. Like
we pay by the tooth.
So like you're asking us about a fantastical situation in a movie, but like I think in general, when people are motivated of like the housewife, where it's just like my life has turned out to be a fucking bore. Like I love my kids, but this is it. It's Monday through Sunday, feel exactly the same. I never leave. I never get to do anything. And especially if you have a husband who's able to do that, whether it's for work or not, he's able to travel or he's able to get out of the house, which he might not enjoy as much as she thinks, like Adam's scenario earlier, but it's an escape. I'm jealous that you get to escape. And so that's something where I feel like you guys have to recognize that, be honest about it, and you try to figure out a way to kind of meet in the middle on it. You try to figure out a way to make things at home better or more exciting, and you try to find ways to take the wife along with you and kind of you guys get a taste of all that good stuff together.
Yeah, that was actually a good point. I guess to Rudy's point earlier, which was, take 5 years for yourself or 6 years, find yourself a little bit. Well, I didn't really do that because, again, I was with my wife through high school. However, we didn't get married for many, many years after that. She was just always my constant with me. But we did kind of find out the world together by traveling, and we lived in Arizona for a couple of years. We just did a lot of different things. And so, we were together. We were, engaged at some point, but it could have cracked at any, under any weight of it, but it never did. So I like that advice of find yourself. Doesn't necessarily mean you have to find yourself alone, though.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think a lot of people can relate to Jamie in that movie. And it's funny, I saw it as a kid, and I never even thought about, hey, she's having an emotional affair. But seeing it again as an adult, Tasker was technically cheating as well because he was lying to her. He was living this other life. So I like they're both doing the same thing. He just caught her at the early stage. And I think it's a wonderful example, exaggerated as well, that you can't neglect the people at home. You really can't. And I get the sand, running out of the hourglass, and I'd never done anything. I think a lot of people are in that space, and it can drive them to do things like run off with a used car. The guy's a used goddamn car salesman. I love that scene.
He's a secret spy, Rudy.
Yeah. If not for me, do it for your country. Oh man, I need to see that movie again. But yeah, good. It's a great movie, man. They should have done a part 2. I don't know.
No, it's perfect how it is. Leave it.
Part 2 in Avatar or Pandora.
We had to have, I was gonna say we had to have 20 years in Pandora.
Jesus, man.
20 years and counting.
Yeah. So I don't validate cheating, of course, but I do believe in cause and effect. Like if you neglect the person that you're married with, it comes down to, if you take the moral compass out of it, it comes down to 2 things: emotional need or physical need. And if you don't supply that to your person and vice versa, either they're going to cheat or you're going to end up divorced. And people, like in this case, and many other clients that I've met, like sometimes they go through years. I get dating. You date somebody, a couple months, they cheat. That's a different story. I'm talking about you've been together 10, 15 years. And over that 10, 15-year window, like you've never felt appreciated or wanted, your needs aren't met. You're not in a mentally healthy space right now. You've just been neglected for years, and that drives people to do it. So when I hear it, I don't validate it, but I understand the cause and effect thing. It's bound to happen. Like, again, Tom Arnold, she's a flesh and blood woman, and you're never there. It's inevitably going to happen. So, I mean, there's lessons in that.
Did you ever hear Shaq talk about the 3 types of cheaters?
There's 20 actually, but go ahead. What are the 3 that you say?
Well, he was talking about men. Somebody was on a podcast asking about why men cheat. And he says, well, men, there's 3 different types of cheaters. He says there's a serial cheater, the James Bond cheater, and the guy that's forced to cheat. He said the serial cheater is just a guy who, no matter what, is never going to settle down. He's going to fuck everything that moves. James Bond cheater is the guy that, you're in Costa Rica, away from the family, whatever. You meet something, you have like a little one night thing, and then you go back and everything's the same. Nothing ever changes. And then you have the guy who's forced to cheat, which is like you said, kind of the reverse of the Jamie Lee Curtis situation, where you're neglected, you're told no, you don't get any intimacy, you don't get any kind of value at home, and then eventually it just happens.
A forced to cheat. Is that what you meant? That last part?
Yeah.
I had one of my fellow coaches. He had a client where he was like 26 or something like that. He's been married with his wife 3 years, and his wife said, "You know what? I don't like giving you head. I'm not going to do it no more." He's like, "What?" and she's like, "I don't want to do it no more. You can't make me do it." And then he's like, "I'm 26 and I'm never going to get a blowjob again in my life. Holy shit, what am I going to do?" And what do you think he did? The next year, he went and paid a prostitute. It wasn't love. It was just transactional. I need it.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like you said,
Yeah.
if a woman's not willing to do that, then she really doesn't like you at all.
There's
so that's a very big signal
balls
flare.
stink, or you don't know how to wipe your ass.
I was gonna say, or maybe his dick is just completely disgusting.
Yeah, and like, do you landscape that? I mean, come on, dude.
Got a
It's like a Brillo pad or something like that.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
I can imagine the emotional devastation and be like, it's never happening again.
Can you imagine that? It's like, oh God.
It's like, oh God. Yeah.
Just
it's like the president getting on the fucking TV and be like, I've outlawed pizza. Pizza will never be in the US again. Like, what the fuck? Never again.
I'd be like that penguin walking to the mountains, just walking away for the wilderness. Where's Rudy going? Just let him be. He's laughing at my own joke, dumbass.
Yeah.
But okay, last topic here, unless you guys want to come up with something. I want to talk about AI. AI is all over the place, and I sent you both, and I hope you watched it. I sent you a video, and let me get the YouTube channel up real quick. The creator is Star Wars Lost Legends, and in my opinion, he did a couple series called Beggar's Canyon. And this is one of the most impressive AI movies that I've ever seen, because I think what's missing in a lot of them is that there's no soul. And these two movies that I've seen, I actually feel like I'm watching an old classic Star Wars movie. The score's present. There's emotional weight in these segments, these vignettes. And I think it's fantastic. So again, and we're still in the infancy of this. So one, what did you think about that story? And two, what do you think the long-term effects of AI are going to be? Like, is this a preview of what we're going to see moving on? Like big scale Hollywood movies? What do y'all think?
Well, if you expected me to watch it, your first mistake was sending me something Star Wars.
You son of a bitch.
I did not get a chance to watch it. But I could still comment on the overall topic. So I think it's going to advance to a point where you're going to have a lot of people, just like with TikTok and all the things that we have now, or like the Sora app, like it's going to be like a free source thing where people are going to be making their own movies. And there's going to be certain people that like all that, where they're going to be like, oh, did you see fucking Adam's fan recut of Godzilla -1? It's fucking amazing. And then there'll be people that'll be like, that's the most soulless fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. What are you talking about? There are going to be some people that will like it, because we all experience art. We all appreciate art differently. Sometimes I hear people's, Silent Hill, Return to Silent Hill was the best movie I've seen in 30 years. And I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, there's people out there that would say something like that. So they're going to like it. As far as Hollywood's usage of it, I'm sure there's going to be studios that try to do an AI movie just to test the waters. There's every time there's an advancement in technology, somebody tries to do something bold. I think it's going to be dead on arrival for a while, if not always. Like, there's always going to be people like us that really appreciate film, and they're going to see through it and go, there's something missing here. The soul is missing. Like, yeah, cool, it looks kind of like classic Star Wars, but I just can't get into this. I think the most realistic application is the same way that we do as content creators, where you have AI assist with like Premiere Pro or Photoshop, where you can digitally give them text, or it's going to be a tool. It's going to be things where they're going to be able to, make the efficiency of certain tasks in movie making a little easier. Instead of having a room full of guys work for a day on getting this one digital effect, they'll be able to put a prompt in and get it, in minutes or hours. Or you'll have people like artists that are able to use that just to make their job a little easier, a little faster, so that we're not spending $300-400 fucking million on Fast 12. And so that's what I hope for. Now, there'll probably be hiccups. It'll probably look better as it goes along, just like CGI. Like, I remember when we first started seeing CGI in the 90s, it was like, whoa. And then by the time 2000 hit, you're like, that looks like dog shit. And then nowadays it
looks like shit now.
You get Avatar and you're like, holy fuck, this is amazing. And then you see Return to Silent Hill and you're like, why does it look that way? And so
I don't want to stop you real quick, but real quick, CGI, I just want to touch on that. Transformers Part 1 and Pirates of the Caribbean, in my opinion, was peak CGI. It looked fucking great, man. And it's just gotten worse as the years go on. You look
Well,
at
now
Wicked, it
it's-
looks like a PS5 game. I don't feel anything. I'm just connected with it because it looks so damn fake.
And I'm hoping AI might help that a bit by streamlining it and making the process not take as long. Because the reason why that happens is because now so many more movies per year are big CGI-driven blockbuster movies, where before it was like 1, 2, 3 a year. Now it's every fucking weekend somebody needs.
The time crunch is massive. You got Weta Digital like shitting out 15 movies a year now at this point, and they can't take their time.
Yeah.
I did watch the Smuggler's Run or whatever the hell it was called.
Beggars Canyon.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. I was on the toilet. I'm like, oh yeah, this is the perfect time to watch an AI video that Rudy sent me. So I soaked it all in. It was impressive for sure. I didn't cry at the uncle and aunt scene. It still did feel very artificial, even though it was very impressive visually. There was definite hiccups. Seeing Luke young again, doing some Jedi shit, it's like, yep, there's the nostalgia berries. I'm too jaded, I think, to touch on that particular property because I don't care, kind of like Cody, about Star Wars at all anymore. However, I do disagree with Cody a little bit when it comes to the potential for the future of AI, because I've seen that video and a few others, and it is absolutely insane what they're able to do and recreate. And they are able to get some of those visual, emotional, captured moments out of the face. It's more a question of logistics and legality, I suppose, behind it. Is Hollywood going to even be able to legally allow movies that replicate actors one-to-one in an AI film? Or are they going to only allow new experiences in AI to become movies? And then from there, how much of that is ripping off other stuff? Because AI is essentially just a tool of ripping off other artists. And, it's an amalgamation of ideas that's been pulled from servers and from YouTube and from all these sources, and then repackaged.
But isn't that what's done already? Tarantino's admitted he's taken plenty of scenes in old movies and replicated it in Pulp Fiction. So artists have always taken inspiration from other things.
Of course, but inspiration is different, I think, than just straight up stealing. But it just, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a million lawyers involved in the future of this technology and where it can take you. Because yes, just like art, you can take a previously created photo of an apple and then add your own style and flair to it, and pretty soon you've made it your own thing. And that is kind of what AI does. It takes this, it takes that, it blends them, it adds its own ideas on top, and so therefore it's transformed it altogether. It's transformative art, if you want to call it art. I don't know. Even from a direction standpoint of that Star Wars movie, I did roll my eyes a little at some of the scripting, but that's beside the point. Just the whole whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think that it has a chance to be very, very massive in movies, and there could be new studios altogether that rise up from this, where they start out as YouTube companies and then they make their way out into however it forms on the big screen. I don't know, but I do think it's definitely a big new shift, kind of like how CGI was back in the late 90s.
Yeah. Did you guys hear Ben Affleck and Matt Damon on Joe Rogan where they were talking about it for a little bit?
No, what did they say?
Well, it was mostly Ben Affleck, but he was talking about it where it's like the ways that he sees it being applied and the big limitations of it. And he seemed to think like the biggest limitations is the script writing side, where every prompt, like as far as storytelling and dialogue and human element, seems to really be shit. But he thinks it's going to be something where, like, if you're a writer and you have like a writer's block, or you get to a scene where you're like, I can't figure out how to get character from A to C, you can get some ideas, like, again, using it as a tool. Like, there's a lot of movies that we watch where clearly the screenwriter got to a block and they were like, fuck it, whatever they think happened. And they just roll. And then you get people that like us that are like, how did that happen? I need to know an answer. And so they were talking about it in that sense. I almost think, too, there's a possibility, depending on the artist. I think there's going to be a lot of people in Hollywood that are going to go through every legal channel possible to prevent their likeness from being used. And it's going to become a big thing. And I also think there's going to be people that monetize it where it's going to be almost like Fortnite skins. Like there's going to be apps out there where you make AI movies and it's like, this month Harrison Ford's available if you want to make a fucking movie with Harrison Ford.
Well, I think there's quite a few actors who have already essentially signed over their likeness. It's a lot of the older actors, but they've basically said like, yeah, you can use me, you can de-age me, you can, abuse me however you want. Where's my money up front? Or I want royalties going forward, or that's going to go to my family after, they're building their legacy of future payments, which is not a bad idea.
It isn't.
Getting ahead of it.
I see it. Maybe not so much the script writing, because you're right. That's a long way to go before those scripts are going to be good AI. But I could definitely see it where there is a talented writer who has no real revenue stream. There's no studio that wants to give him the money he needs to make his like $20 million film. So then he just takes that script, puts it in whatever AI program he can use, and voila, you have a Back to the Future Ghostbusters hybrid film. I don't know if you guys read Ready Player 2. Awful book, but that was essentially what the winner of the first game, that's what he did with all of his fortune, is he made fan films, like hybrid movies where Ghostbusters teamed up with He-Man and the Transformers. It was just like the most depressing shit ever, but he thought they were really cool. I think we'll definitely see. We're already seeing a ton of those on YouTube. The shorts where, that's inevitable for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm really disappointed you didn't see it, Cody, you motherfucker. You should check it out after the live and after the podcast. Go check it out. Again,
it's not. It's fine.
It's fine, but I enjoyed it. I mean, you can see the uncanny valley when you see Luke, but it's really good. And I'm really, when you see the I guess the people like the what do you call them, aliens? What do you call them? The trolls, the creatures of Tatooine.
Jawas.
It feels like a Disney property. Because it looks the same, but it's the feel and the storytelling that's getting better. And again, I got to hand it to the channel's called Star Wars Lost Legends. I think whoever's behind this channel is brilliant, because what they're doing, this is their resume. They're showing the world, look what I can do with the limited tools that I have. He's probably maybe a one man team, or maybe he's got a team of 5. I don't know. But he's showcasing to the world, look what we can do. And if I know that Kathleen Kennedy's out of Disney now, if somebody were to see this over there, like, hey, we need to bring these guys on board because Disney is implementing AI. We are going to use it. And I think it's brilliant that they're using this tactic, showcasing their talent and what they can do. I'm sure they can't monetize these videos because the John Williams score and all that is present, but I think it's brilliant for them to do that. But I was hesitant about it, but I'm also kind of like excited about it to see what's going to come. I know in about 10 years, we're probably going to be able to type in, I want to see Batman versus Superman, fight the Avengers, hit, and then it's going to say processing, be ready in 30 minutes. And then we're going to see a whole full-fledged movie, right? It's probably going to get that way. I don't know. But
I think you're right. It's going to, again, that's why I say it's all going to depend on IP and how hardcore they're going to be fighting to stop those videos from going out. Right now, it seems like it's truly the Wild West, and people can just kind of post whatever they want, and it's fine.
And I'm not knocking it. Have you seen those Kobe AI crash out videos?
Yeah,
those are insane.
My kids watch they watch all the brain rot shit and everything that, because we're dinosaurs now. So I don't want to be like the guy that's like, AI's garbage. It's, back in my day, we had real actors. They were going on set for 15 hours a day. Guys were pissing in bottles of water. Because I think Dwayne Johnson was doing that. But no, I don't know. I'm very indifferent about the whole thing, I guess. Yeah. It would be a very scary time, I think, to be in the movie making business.
Yeah,
I guess
I'm pretty cynical about it. I feel like for a long time, if not the entirety of it, it's going to be like how I treat Netflix films, where I just pretend they don't even exist unless somebody's like, you got to watch The Rip, or you got to watch, whatever the one last year that was kind of an action movie where.
Did you see Havoc?
Yeah.
That movie felt like it was made with AI, all the action scenes.
That's a common thing that we say nowadays when it just feels soulless, like it's just generic, whatever. And so that's the thing. It's like if we're already getting the baseline version of that with actual actors and actual directors and stuff, how much worse and how much more soulless and generic is it going to be when a computer's doing everything? And I just don't. I know we're going to get the best and the worst of it at the same time. I just hope it doesn't turn into one of those things where, like Adam said, where we're talking to our grandkids and that's all they watch is like some fucking YouTube channel. It's just like, go watch a Tarantino movie. What the fuck are you doing?
But it kind of already is, right? I mean, I'm a movie buff, and my kids, as much as I show them like the classics, they still spend way more time watching absolute dog shit on their phone. And they couldn't list to you probably 20 actors in Hollywood from now to back in the 70s, 60s, whatever, but they could probably list off 30 or 40 YouTube jackasses. Yeah. And that's just going to keep getting, I don't want to say worse, just different. It's just things are moving in a different direction.
Yeah, that's
worse
why Hollywood's
I think
dead.
it's worse, but
because back in the day, what you can get your entertainment through movies, television, radio, and maybe newspapers. Now it's all over the place. You know, all these platforms, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. There's so many other places for people to get entertained. It's insane. And going back to the AI real quick,
to an extent, like we're in it. You know, like there's people that watch my channel and I'm the substitute for them going to watch the actual movies. So they're like, I watch your recap videos so I don't have to spend 2 hours of my life. Instead, I get a 20-minute entertaining film, you know, like short YouTube video instead.
Yeah.
And that's just across the board what I think people are doing. They want those short, quick dopamine hits.
We're like that Eric Andre meme where he shoots the guy and it's like, YouTubers ruin everything, and then it's like us YouTubers.
Yeah, we're both the guy with the gun and the guy getting shot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy how like I think I sent you, Cody, some AI videos of me that I made through that one AI video, and it looks really good. And it got me thinking. I mean, imagine like 3 years from now that you can actually, if you were going to die, you can hire a company. Look, I want my kids to be able to talk to me like Marlon Brando and Superman. When I saw that as a kid, you know, there's a hologram of Marlon Brando. Ask me anything, speak. And that's magic. And now we actually have the technology to do that. Could you imagine actually having that feature where you can actually upload your likeness to an app and every video and every podcast, anything you've ever done is uploaded. So now it's you and your kids can now talk to you via phone. That's probably going to be an option pretty soon.
I don't know, man. There's so much about that terrifies me. Even just like, I'm scared of what people are going to be able to do with AI videos with how gullible people are nowadays.
Oh,
I mean, like you can post an AI picture of somebody doing something and it'll fucking take off before anybody sounds off and goes, did you guys notice he's got 7 fingers or like something like that? And people don't read.
And what's even worse is you have the grifters that will report on that like it's news, and then you will have actual news. Actual news will report on what the grifters reported on, and they run with it for 48 hours, and then it's that was actually bullshit.
Yeah. And so I mean, you see it all the time, and it just I'm nervous to get to the point where there was a movie that premiered at Fantastic Fest last year called Apopheniacs, and the whole premise of it is this guy's got this little app where it's AI powered and he can take any video and he can take a picture of somebody's face and like seamlessly put them into the video. And so it's about him causing chaos in these people's lives. It's almost like an anthology movie. So he's got one where like he takes a porn and he sticks a chick's face on it and sends the video to her husband. And he thinks that she's fucking around. There's another one where he takes a World Star video of a woman going on like a racist rant in a stairwell, and he takes this woman's face and puts it out there, and now that woman's getting like attacked in the street. And so like I just fear about applications like that. Like there's, even if they just need a picture, that's one thing, but like all of us, I mean, there's hundreds of hours at this point of us talking, all the different words and inflections. If the technology is that good, you could take my likeness and make me say and do whatever you want. And before I even have a chance to say, that's not me, it's already out there. It's already news. It's already all over Twitter. There's already a set of people that believe it, don't care, don't believe you if you come in and defend it. You can prove it, doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, I see how easy it is. I mean, you were there. The woman trying to say I was racist because I didn't fucking like a movie from 1993 or some shit. And there's a group of people that don't care. That's news now. That's who that guy is.
Once they
put out the video and stab you in the back and throw you under the bus. Like, I knew he was racist the moment I met him. Just a real bad hombre.
He's a film bro.
But that's what I mean. Like, it takes nothing nowadays for something like that to get. All it takes is the wrong person with their certain amount of following to spit it back out there, and now that's a huge issue.
And you don't even need AI. You don't even need AI. They just take something out of context. They can take.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If it's that easy to do it now, if you can actually have a full 5-minute video of me going on a racist rant, like that's what I'm scared of. Is like
it already happened to my 13-year-old son in school. Yeah. So
Seriously?
a friend took a photo of him and took a photo of a girl, and he used an app and he mashed them together and made them kiss. And then he sent it in a group text to all the kids in the grade. And Connor came home crying. The girl, as bad as he felt, the girl felt traumatized about it. So we had to get involved with the school. I was like, what is happening? He's 13. What? And there was no like bad intent behind it. It's young kids with way too much technology already in the palm of their hand, just screwing around. And so, yeah, it sucked though. I'm looking at the photo of my son kissing a girl, which fine, whatever, but he didn't actually do it, and then if you look closer, it looked like he did, but when you look closer, there's a second, there's like a sixth finger, or there's a shoe that's out of place, or this lining of the room doesn't make sense. It's a very slippery slope, and there's no restrictions on any of it, which is kind of nuts.
I know. And it's also like there's also porn. I mean, if I was 14 and had a phone in my hand, I would have went ape shit. I was so glad growing up in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, where if you wanted to see something, you had to go to the channel.
Where are you going, Rudy? To the nearest bathroom.
Dude, we used to kind of like whack off to the Sears catalog.
Oh, yeah.
That's all we did, the swimsuit section or the lingerie one. That's all we had. And then like the magazines were behind the cashier at the gas station, so you couldn't get to them. They only had one channel, was a scramble. So it was limited, and I think, I don't want to sound like that old guy, but I think we need limited access to the kids, especially if they have smartphones. They can look up anything, and it's there, and that's what scares me. And a lot of these young men are growing up with ED. They can't get hard because they've been seeing all this crazy shit. Their dopamine regulations all whack, and when they're in front of a girl, they can't get hard in their 20s. So it's like, there has to be some, baby kids shouldn't have a cell phone. I don't know. There's that. I know some country, I forgot, kids couldn't open up a social media account until they're like 18. I think in Australia.
Yeah, they just,
or something like that.
Australia, yeah.
But there needs to be some control.
Fucking difficult, man. Like I have been through hell with that with my son, where nowadays it's not just encouraged, it's pretty much required that you have a cell phone. They let the kids use cell phones in fucking school. When I was in high school,
their classes are tied to the phones, or they need apps to get on the bus or to do anything now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they have to have it, and if they don't have it, they're not only like the weird kid, but they're actually like debilitated somehow. Like when I was in school, it's like you bring the phone out, you fucking lose it. So it's switched entirely. But I've been through hell with that with my son, where like you can buy all the blocking apps, all the fucking parental control shit in the world. I mean, kids can get around it with a couple Google searches. Like it's simple.
Yeah.
And
I just locked my kid's phone down again, and it's like there's so much crap that you have to try to like navigate with it, and
none of it's perfect. Like you could put no Instagram, no TikTok, no adult sites or whatever. There's still some sites that are going to sift through. There's still ways they'll look at pictures. They'll do backdoors through Reddit. It's impossible, and it's fucking terrifying because like, there's things in there that you don't want your kid to have access to, because kids, even teenagers, 17, 18 years old, like they're not equipped with the decision making and the self-control to be able to not go wild with the internet. But if you take it away from them, which is the only way to ensure it, then you like fuck them in other ways. And
they're the freak. They're the outcast that doesn't understand the memes or the references or whatever. And
or even just logistics of they can't get a job. They can't, because they can't get called in. They can't, have any communication. You can't be 18 years old and be like, call my mom and tell them what my shift is. And so it's just, it's fucking scary, man. So like, there's been, I think it was not too long ago, they started putting a lot of like age restrictions in certain states on Pornhub and stuff like that.
It's outlawed in Texas. You can't even access
it. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm. So
there's dumb.
There's some progress there, but
because there's like a billion others that they could access. Yeah. So you got rid of one.
I mean, he'd leave it for adults. I mean, like my wife and I, we watch movies every now and then in the bedroom to spice things up. We're looking. It sucks. There's no app like on the TV. Like we're looking up like a adult app to download so we can watch adult movies on the big screen. And there was one called like Passion Flicks, and it was all like cheesy Skinamax videos where it's just like like they're kissing and just rubbing, but you don't see anything.
Softcore shit.
And we're watching. We're both naked in bed looking at this like this sucks. Like, well, this sucks.
Yeah, we all had that era when we were like 16 or whatever, and you get like after the parents go to bed, you go to HBO and Cinemax. You're like, they don't know about this. You go to the previous channel on Disney Channel, and then you sit there. As soon as you hear a fucking doorknob, click.
Yeah, what are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah, fucking Rugrats. Like, bitch, you're 16.
But my point is,
Red
adults
Shoe
should have that.
Diaries.
Adults should have that still, not outlawed completely, but adults should have it for, because consenting adults, you can do whatever you want behind the privacy of your own bedroom. It's nobody's business. So why outlaw certain things that people like? Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Red Shoe Diaries was the one we used to watch on Showtime, and it was hosted by David Duchovny.
Yeah.
He was just like throwing the ball to his dog. He's like, "Dear Red Shoe Diaries," and then it would go into the actual like softcore terrible thing. But I remember Matthew LeBlanc was in one. I was like, what are we doing here? Why is he in this? I don't know if I'm into this anymore.
There was also
then
the
I saw his
Hitchhiker,
bare
I think.
ass, and I was back in.
Yeah. Red Shoe Diaries, and what was the other one? I think The Hitchhiker was another one. But it was like more thriller.
There was Beverly Hills Bardello.
Yeah.
There was Real Sex, but that was never good because that was always too like gross.
Taxi Cab Confessions on HBO.
Taxi Cab Confess. Yep.
Cody was 4. He doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, he doesn't know any of these.
Yeah.
Cody had the internet. He had it made. It was just he had to like, everything was like slowly scanning into frame, but he got it.
Yeah. And it's a GIF, right? It takes like 2 hours, but it's only a GIF.
the dial-up.
It's all pixelated. I'm like Jason Biggs in American Pie. Like, that's a tit.
Yeah.
That's a tit.
Exactly.
Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, I don't like when it comes to adult stuff. I think adults, again, they should have access to it, but it shouldn't be completely outlawed. I mean, but there ought to be. I don't know what the answer is, but again, there ought to be some safeguards for kids because like I said, if that was in my hands at that age, I would be typing in leaving the movie theater and looking up Spider Ass Silent Hill.
It needs to be something.
I forgot to bring that up. Why did they cake her out so much in Silent Hill?
Wonderful.
The spider chick. Yeah.
I'm in the theater like this and just
a lot of the monsters in the game in Silent Hill 2 have like that erotic kind of nature to it because it's like his temptation of wanting other women.
Not having sex for 2 years, his wife was sick.
It's just like, why the fuck?
Sexual desire.
It's just her. But I was like, okay, I'm in.
It needs to be something as simple as whoever your internet service provider is, you have like a login. And every member of your household has a different login. And you can say this kid's under 18, under 15 or whatever. And from that point, like, your cell phone provider, same thing. Like they're locked out of everything until you, the person that pays for it, allows it. But there's just nothing like that. Like you have Apple's got their own parental controls. I paid for Aura, which is like it was $500 for a fucking year. It's with VPN and
permanently locked. Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
and it's still not foolproof. That's what I mean. Like $500 a year, you'd think like this shit better be ironclad. Where it'll give you notifications if they turn it off. It'll give you notifications if they access certain sites. It'll give you limit screen time and all that stuff. And it still would not stop everything. And so it's just, you feel helpless as a parent. I don't know if you guys saw Adolescence last year. The TV series is 4 episodes.
No, Lindsay saw it. She loved it.
It kind of deals with that where you got this kid. I mean, it's about a kid who's accused of murder. And it ends up getting into it where he's been like radicalized by like the Andrew Tates and stuff like that. And so he was like angry at a chick at school for not, being all over him or whatever. It's a lot deeper and a lot more like it's very good. So I recommend checking it out. But that was kind of the scary thing by the end of that series is you got parents that are like, I mean, I thought we were doing everything right. Like you get him a computer, you get him a phone, he gets good grades, he's got good phones, and then you don't know he's off every time he's off by himself with a closed door, he's being radicalized by strangers. You don't have any idea what the fuck they're telling these kids.
Yeah.
And it's scary as a parent, and it's only gonna get worse.
Well, gentlemen, I think we just started a company right now. We're going to be the guys that build a product that, gets rid of all the bad shit on kids' phones. Three Kings Internet.
There we go.
Yeah.
And I'll be the tester to try to break it. Because I know.
Well, I was going to say, with our powers combined, we should know every type of loophole possible.
Yeah. Adam, we forgot to flag spider ass thing. Rudy got in.
Up Silent Hill spider ass.
It's going to be like every single episode of Stranger Things season 5, where we're like on the whiteboard and we're finishing each other's thoughts.
Yep, exactly. And then Rudy's going to come in and be like, actually, if you use this funnel here,
Go to
this is kind
incognito,
of like my sexual
right?
thoughts. And
And then dildo. Cody starts talking, and then
There you all go. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Like you said, not only the porn, but like you said, the red pill stuff. I've talked to hundreds of young men. They try to debate me. They call me simp, and just being a gentleman to a woman, they call me a simp. I'm like, opening the door for a woman. Why are you going to do that for, man? It's only your turn, bro. That's it, and when she's gone, she's gone. Like, they really think of women as whores. They think of women as just these horrible, like, insensitive women. They're objects. That's all they are. And they're just belittling them because, again, as far as sexuality goes, the peak for women is 18 to 30, they say. And guys, we mature, get older, get better looking. Hence, all of us, we're like in our quote unquote sexual prime. So a lot of young men are angry. This is not my words, but a lot of young men are angry that women have options. So the envy, they turn it into anger and insulting them. So they're devaluing them because they can't be as, I guess, marketable sexually. And it's just insane that Tate and all these other guys have influenced these young boys who are confused. Think about it. We're all confused. We don't know anything about women. I still don't. But we don't know anything about women. If you learn about women through these shows and all they're highlighting is OnlyFans models and the prostitutes, are going to assume all women are prostitutes or OnlyFans models and they're only wanting money. So yeah, phones can just put you in a psychosis and just make you think the world is something that it's not. So it's insane, man. But the children is what I'm talking about. And we need safeguards. What they are, I don't know. Just take the phone away. Is it that easy? Give them a flip phone. Give them a flip phone. They don't need internet access.
I have lived it for a year and a half. It is not easy. It's damn near impossible.
Plus, they have buddies. They'll just look at their buddy's phone.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I think we covered a lot. We had a 1 hour and 41 minutes. Do you guys want to touch on anything else or anything else?
I think we solved all the world's problems in this conversation.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, again, I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I like doing these episodes to kind of break from the mold. Like I said, talking to people, just doing the traditional root advice thing, and then bringing some friends over just to shoot the shit, I think is a wonderful thing. So I really appreciate you two coming in and just kind of like giving me 1 hour and 41 minutes of escapism and laughing and having a good time and talking about porn and caked up spider asses in Silent Hill. And I appreciate it.
For the record, I am not owning that. You are the one that brought that into the conversation.
Of course I was. Of course I was.
That was not a group contribution.
I was thinking it earlier. I didn't want to keep interjecting, though, so I'm glad you got there.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
We came full circle.
There you go.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time, and we'll see you soon. All right? Maybe we can do this in a couple months.